Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Jason Show at home. Hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday. It's one of our brand new shows. Again, we are doing new shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So get a cup of coffee, sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. I hope you're all having a really good day. Let me take a sip. I feel like Wendy Williams. I mentioned this last week. If you guys have been watching Wendy, who airs on Fox 9, she's killing me. Like, she's giving me life. She does not care. She's eating like frozen bananas. She's eating like a kielbasa. She brought in like some baked fish, and she's just sitting in her kitchen. I love it. Now, before we go any farther, we're going to acknowledge two things. First, I have cut my own hair. That's right. Mermaid, you know, the woman that cuts my hair, her real name is Kara, but she believes in mermaids, and we fight. Mermaid called me, walked me through it. I'm looking at myself. Not a bad job, but I did it. I lost the hat. I haven't taken my hat off since Christmas. So I want to acknowledge that. Number two, I want to acknowledge that I heard you. I saw your comments on Facebook. A couple ladies, the reflection in my glasses was killing people. So I corrected the lighting. I'm looking at it. Think it looks pretty good here. But thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for putting up with the reflection. Thank you for putting up with my hat. Cheers to all of you. Before we get to the hot dish, I always like, you guys have been so kind to me and the show on Facebook. So I want to try to answer some questions that we keep getting. So I have a couple that I'll answer quick before we get to the hot dish. First, Sarah writes on Facebook, "Hey Jace, what are you watching during the quarantine?" I've mentioned this before. I am watching the Golden Girls. I'm watching the reruns. It makes me happy right before I go to bed. I don't, they call it, what do they call it? Doomsday scrolling? Or yeah, I don't do any of that. I read a lot. I read too much, but I cut myself off of reading anything bad right before I go to bed. As far as shows that I'm kind of rediscovering or watching right now, I'm watching Sex Education on Netflix. Not for everybody. Believe me, not for everybody. I'm watching that. I have also been rewatching some favorite shows of mine like Downton Abbey, and movie-wise, Coco. I'm 3 years late to this game, but Coco, Disney Pixar's from 2017. I'm going to name it a best thing ever and do a bigger story on it. But Coco is now, I will say right now, one of my all-time favorite Pixar movies. Oh, it's so good. And then one more question. Sean, are you still running even in the pandemic? Yes, but I'm being safe. There's my mask that my buddy Alexis made. My little E.T. mask, because, you know, E.T. is one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite, next to Star Wars. Yes, I'm still running. You know, don't want to gain that quarantine 15. So yeah, running, trying to do my best, trying to stay safe, trying to stay away from people the best that I can. So there we go. Okay, if you're ready, I am ready. It is time for the hot dish. Look at that. I have a little anime. I have it now. Right there. I think I'm doing it right. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, let's get okay, that's enough of that, Jason. Okay, let's get started. First up, we all know that actors' contracts can be wacky. People can put insane stuff in their contracts. For instance, my contract says that producer Ted can't look me in the eye from 11 to 2 p.m. daily. Just kidding. Anyway, a certain contract is making getting a lot of attention, and that's Debra Messing from Will and Grace. Now, if you guys don't know, Will and Grace just wrapped up their run last week on Thursday after 22 years. 22 years. I believe 12 seasons overall between the original run and this run. Here's from their Instagram account. This is their final bow, final scene. Well, Debra is getting a lot of attention because, listen to this. She had a clause in her contract. They called it a pain in the beep clause that stipulated that the season had to be completed before Christmas. Well, I guess originally producers were like, wah, wah. Well, now they're celebrating it because had Debra had Grace not had that in the contract, the last season of Will and Grace, the reboot, would have just ended with like a non-eventful episode. So thank goodness they wrapped in December before the pandemic shut down Hollywood, because there's a lot of shows like The Good Fight on CBS All Access that can't continue. So thank goodness. And I'll say, let me briefly mention, I watched the Will and Grace finale. I liked it. I did not love it. I did like it better than the original series finale in 2006. That was a disaster, but I didn't love it. By the way, here's another photo that I love. The bottom photo from the first year of the show with legendary director James Burrows. The top photo is a current picture of them. So I love it. I love it. Okay, next in the dish. Remember when we cared about celebrity weddings? Well, we still kind of do. Remember when we were reporting that J-Lo and I was going to call him J-Rod. It's A-Rod, Jason. Remember when J-Lo and A-Rod were like, girl, we're going to get married. We're getting married and it's going to happen. Well, it looks like they may not be getting married anytime soon. Nope. J-Lo and A-Rod got engaged in March after years, years of speculation, if you would ever pop the question. Well, last week on Fallon, he was asked about his wedding plans and revealed that they were planning to tie knot this summer, but due to the virus, the wedding is on hold. He says they have to go with the flow and everything is on pause at the moment. Yeah, of course it is. Go with the flow. The flow is you stay at home and get married in your living room. I've seen your house. I've seen your backyard. You could throw a wedding back there. Anyway, I got to tell you, it's just so funny. I was like, oh, remember when this was a huge deal? We were like, J-Lo's getting married. And now we're like, okay, do whatever. Do whatever. One more story for you that I got to show you. Let me find the picture. Look at this picture right here. What do you think this is? Take a good look at it. That is Spice Girl, Jerry Halliwell. She announced on Instagram that her family is expanding. That, my friend, that's her husband, Christian. They have welcomed their pet donkey there. Their pet donkey is pregnant, and the baby is due in August. Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing the first time on the Jason Show that we've ever had a donkey pregnancy announcement. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the apocalypse. Just kidding. Anyway, congratulations. Congratulations to the happy family. Oh, look at them. Oh, I was going to do a donkey noise, but I'm not really good at that. Anyway, coming up in just a little bit, it is going to be a Jason Show staff reunion. Kendall's going to join us, Ted, Jeff, the whole crew. Well, most of the crew that we can get on one conference call. And then the cooking mom is here and more. So go grab another cup of coffee and meet me back here in just a few minutes. And welcome back. I love her. I don't need to introduce her. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show. It's Kendall, everyone. Hello, Kendall.
Hello, Jason Show people. We miss you.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm really hungry.
Well, okay, girl, you have food, don't you, in your house?
I do. But it's like kind of far away, and I figured that I should probably shoot this with you, and we should talk, and then I could eat, because I always get food in my teeth.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, believe me. Okay, are you like so many, because the quarantine 15 is a real thing. How are you staying active? How are you avoiding it? Because like me, I'm trying to run, but again, there's too many people out and it scares me. So I look like the NASA people that come to kidnap ET. So how are you doing? Because you and I struggle. You and I both love food. How are you doing with the quarantine?
Well, I saw a meme right at the beginning of all of this, and it was some guy that was like, this is going to go one of two ways. One picture, and he was super buff, and the other one, he was like just a sloth man. And I was like, ooh, yeah, it's going to go one of two ways. Right now, I've stayed in the middle. I really wanted to actually lose weight because I was like, you have all this time. But because you're home, it's so hard not to snack literally all day. So I'm like right in the middle.
Yeah, I am too. I bought a lot of groceries, like a lot of folks did, not I didn't do the doomsday prepper thing, which still 6 weeks into this,
I know.
it's still the fact that I went down an aisle. I won't say the Target that I was at, but I went down an aisle at a Target 2 weekends ago, and
Mhm.
it still looked like the end of the world. And I thought, I always feel bad. You know what I feel bad for the senior citizen, the grandma that goes in there on her one chance. You know, she takes a chance and she can't find toilet paper. It drives
Mhm.
me nuts. Take what you need, people.
It's so weird. And the toilet paper thing, I know Shannon has a theory, but like I just still don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm fine with that. I get my one disinfectant wipes
Mhm.
because I don't know about you. So, we've touched on about food. Are you paranoid? And not paranoid. I don't like that word. Are you being cautious? Like, let me tell you what I mean by that is
Mhm.
I grab a disinfectant wipe as I leave the house. Like when I go to the radio station, I have it with me to, if I have to touch a doorknob, it is now an accessory. I have a disinfectant wipe as an accessory. It is. It's a fabulous. Let me tell you, it's a fabulous accessory.
Just nice and crisp.
Yeah. Are you finding yourself a little careful?
I am. And what's odd is so we went to the Home Depot because during all this, we're like, oh, we need this. We have to replace a toilet. But the point being, I was really weirded out the whole time. I had my mask on, I disinfected, I did all the things, but that's what's going to be so odd when we all go back to normal
Yeah.
is you're still going to feel like you see germs everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh, like when I watch TV shows now, I was just watching The Real Housewives of New York, and there
Mhm.
was a giant crowd scene. I thought, ooh, I get a little like,
Mhm.
oh, that's a lot of
Mhm.
people, and I'm showing a picture right now, because obviously I follow a lot of Disney news. I have a picture put up right now of a normal day crowd at the Magic Kingdom. Because right now, there's two trains of thought with Disney and the parks.
Mhm.
Some people are saying they could open in June, and there's a couple business analysts that are saying it could be until January 2021. But I look at these photos and I think that's a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I get a little, and I'm Mr. Disney, and that gives me a little bit of anxiety. So I know
Mhm.
how you felt at the Home Depot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think about the state fair, and I love the fair so much, and I'm going to be so heartbroken if there isn't one, but I also get that there probably can't be one because of that, you know?
Yeah, we don't know. Just to be clear, though, we do not
Yeah.
know. I do wonder when that announcement, either way, is going to come. Okay, let's
Mhm.
talk about some fun stuff. So, just a few minutes ago in the hot dish, I was mentioning the series finale of Will and Grace,
Mhm.
and I thought it was whatever. I liked it better than the original one. Let me ask you this: is there, Kendall, a series finale that disappointed you? Ever. In all the TV shows you watched, is there a series finale that disappointed you?
Absolutely. Game of Thrones. It was terrible. I know everybody is so tired of talking about this, but when you're someone who's watched it since season 1 and it takes years for these things to come out, you feel like you're part of that world. And to put so much emphasis throughout all those years on a certain way of things going, and then at the last minute, turning it around, it was just mind blowing and so disappointing. You know,
Did
it's
it
just hurtful.
did it change your opinion of the whole show?
Almost in a way that I was
Wow.
always going to go back and watch it, and now I'm like, well, I know what happens, and it's stupid.
So you would, because see, I go back obviously, like right out
Mhm.
there. As soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna play Animal Crossing, and then I'm gonna watch episode 22, season 7 of Dallas. So I rewatch. I I know, Kendall. Go ahead and judge. By the way, are you playing Animal? Do you know what Animal Crossing is? By the way.
Well, I've seen you talk about it, but I'm not playing, Jason.
I know. I'm not. Kendall, I am not a gamer. I cannot believe that I'm sitting here with my purple and blue light with you at 45 years old, telling you and the people, all of you watching, that I play Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch. But it brings me such joy I can't. I'm doing a best thing ever segment about it because I'm this close to convincing producer Jeff. I'm this close, Kendall, to executive producer Jeff getting the game and playing it with me.
What? He said he would play?
Yeah, he has a Switch. So I told him, I said, I have an assignment for you for the show, but he's going to love it anyway. Go buy Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch, play it, and report back. Okay, now Kendall is going to stick around because speaking of producer Jeff and producer Ted, coming up, it is a Jason Show family reunion. Right, Kendall? The crazy family reunion. Jeff, Ted, Kendall, myself. And let me say this because Kendall sees the emails too. Just like we got emails about Kendall, we are getting comments about intern Kenny. We promise you, Kendall and I both promise you, Kenny is fine. We will get intern Kenny on a future episode. Right, Kendall?
Yes, we love him and miss him too.
That's right. So stay right there. Kendall, you don't go anywhere. It's like Hollywood Squares. Coming up in just a little bit, our Jason Show family reunion, the cooking mom, and our positive stories of the day when we return. And welcome back to the Jason Show at Home edition. Not every day, Jason, we're on the air 2 days a week now. Every new show, we're going to try to bring you good news, positive news. Now, a lot of shows are doing that, and they're coming up with a whole bunch of cutesy names, like good news or this or that. We decided to be very, very just direct in what we're going to call the segment. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jason's non-negative news. Jason's non-negative news with plenty of rainbows. Look at all those rainbows right there. Isn't that beautiful? It is. Okay, our first story is about a group of doctors. A lot of healthcare professionals. They're on the front lines. They're afraid to come home after a day's work because they don't want to spread the virus if they could potentially have it. So there are a couple RV companies that are donating RVs for frontline workers, for healthcare workers. I want to get it right. They are a Facebook group called, I love this, RVs for MDs. It's a Facebook group. So if you want more information, head over to them. I think that's I think that's fantastic. Isn't that? I mean, this is another way. Again, I've been having conversations with so many people. You saw last week with Chris Hockey. So many industries are really stepping up, and the ingenuity is just amazing, especially when it's for the good. And I love this. So again, RVs for MDs. Next, Publix grocery stores. Now, we don't have those here. I believe they're in the South. But Publix grocery stores, we talked about this last week. I'm sure you've seen it on the news. Dairy farmers have just an abundance of milk. And, we had the story last week of the farmer that's leaving milk in a refrigerator, like those free libraries. Well, Publix grocery stores are taking the excess milk from dairy farmers, and instead of trying to sell it, they're donating it to food shelves in the communities that they serve. I just think that's great. And then Walmart just teamed up with Nextdoor, that's the company, on a program called Neighbors Helping Neighbors that makes it easier to see if anyone in the community needs a grocery run. Because I know, real life for me, my mother is by herself. She lives in Louisiana, which is a hot spot. So I try to have as much stuff delivered to her because I tell her, I'm like, if you leave that house, I'm going to duct tape you to your wall until this is over, until early 2021. I'm going to duct tape you to the wall. But no, I think this is great. If you have a story that you would like me to spotlight on Jason's non-negative news, just let me know on our Facebook page. We're going to take a break, everyone, and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back, everyone, to the Jason Show Home Edition, or I should say, the Brady Bunch. Let's all look at each other, everyone. How do we? Oh, wait, this way. There we go. That was fun.
Can I be Cindy?
Well, she was annoying, so it does kind of fit. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh! 25 seconds in.
45. That's right. You are witnessing, viewers, a Jason Show staff family reunion. Please welcome Kendall, executive producer Jeff, and Bachelor Nation's president, Ted Johnson, everyone. Woo!
Yay!
Now, Kendall, the boys have reunited. This is the first time that you've been back with the boys. Did you miss us?
I did. People ask that a lot on our Facebook Lives. They're always like, Kendall, how do you hang out with all those boys all day? And to which I now can say, I haven't been. And it's been exhilarating.
You look, we should come. Kendall, you look fantastic. Like quarantine is doing you well. Like your hair looks yeah.
And the plant.
The plant. I know. Kendall has a nice, finely placed fern.
It's a real fern, too. It's our love fern. I've had it since it was a baby.
Okay.
Love fern.
A love fern. I think that was an adult movie in the 70s. Let's now acknowledge, Ted, step aside a little bit. Show America, you have a cord situation going on there.
Oh, my God.
Jeff's going to pass out over there.
Jeff, I'm with you. Does that not give you anxiety?
My OCD is through the roof. Like, I want to find out where Ted lives.
Yes.
And go and organize that.
Ted.
When I'm watching TV, I'm focused on the TV. And if there are cords all over the place, then so be it.
Isn't that, Kendall, isn't that a fire hazard?
It looks like a dorm room. Where's the pizza on the floor? You have some Bud Light in the corner?
Oh, if he pulls up a Little Caesars pizza, we're done. Segment over.
No pizza.
No, but Ted, we really do. Home Depot makes like a cord container thing that we can fix that.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix this?
Yeah.
Well,
one little thing?
Maybe that's a segment. Maybe we'll try. That's a segment idea. Yeah.
We should send the organizing expert to Ted's house.
Well, we can't. We're in quarantine, Jeff. We're in quarantine.
Yeah,
We can't.
I don't mean right now.
Okay, let's go round robin. Let's start with the lady first because we haven't seen her. Kendall, what's been like a good thing that you've eaten, watched, or tried during quarantine? Eaten, watched, or tried. It's a new game.
Oh, fun. Okay, well, I've been practicing piano again. We inherited like a baby. Shut! Are you on? Stop.
No, out of all the things, I expect you to say, I made some bacon tater tots. I didn't expect you to Liberace while in quarantine.
Be clear, I'm a creative, artistic soul. Sorry.
Okay.
You are.
Okay, continue. You are. Continue.
Okay, so I've been practicing piano. Let's see. Something more like me, my favorite meal I've eaten was the homemade pasta I made. I made that.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, the show. You guys are going to hate this show, but I love it. Ready?
Way to sell it, girl. Way to sell it.
It's The Witcher.
Oh,
I tried that.
Yeah, I did too. Didn't enjoy it.
I haven't heard of it.
You
It's
like
so dirty. I don't like that.
Yeah, you probably don't like fantasy novels, TV, Game of Thrones.
No, look at the boys. Kendall, did you
Hard
see?
pass.
I do,
like Game
but
of
yeah.
Thrones.
Okay, Jeff, now we've talked with you, we've updated you, but is there anything recently other than your air fryer that you've watched, tried, or eaten?
So I have perfected sourdough bread, homemade.
Ooh.
2 weeks ago, I started a sourdough starter. I'm like everyone who's doing it, but it's so good. I just made my third loaf the other day.
Send it.
Ted, I
What
dare
are
you
you laughing at? Loaf?
Ted, I triple dare you to try to beat the sourdough bread.
I think I can do it.
Okay?
Ooh.
I've discovered, and now this isn't trying something new, but I discovered that my peanut butter sandwich is better in the fridge and then eat it a little chilled than it is when it's just warm.
Okay, let's talk about peanut butter because Ted tweeted something about how creamy peanut butter is top notch, the best.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree with that.
No!
Everyone's agreeing with me. They're all agreeing with me.
No.
Crunchy?
Yes.
I'll pray.
First of all, I am a choosy mom. I choose Jif. That's the only brand to eat. I am a choosy mom. Number two, crunchy is the only way to go. In a pinch, I'll do creamy, but creamy is what I put my dog's medication in.
Why are you gonna make it sound nasty?
Well, because you put the pill in the mouth anyway. But yeah, I use creamy.
I'm too lazy to crunch. I want it already creamed for me.
What do you mean you're too lazy to crunch? You just chew.
My teeth don't need exercise.
How much more time do we have? Are we wrapping here? We have to wrap.
You know.
We have to wrap. Well, Kendall.
People should weigh in, though. Creamy or chunky?
Should we post this on the Facebook page?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So you're watching this right now. What is this, Tuesday, right? Tuesday? You're watching this now on Tuesday. Go to our Facebook page and vote. Crunchy.
Team creamy, team crunchy.
No.
Creamy.
It's not even gonna be close.
It is going to be close. Bye, Kendall. Bye, Jeff. Bye, Ted. You watching, you stay right there. We will be right back. Welcome back to The Jason Show. It is a really great way to spend a night in isolation, playing some bingo. And you're thinking, okay, but what if you could play bingo and support some local businesses at the same time? Two fabulous local women created Isolation Bizingo, which you grab, here's the concept. You grab some takeout, you sit on your couch, you play some online bingo, and you might even win some gift cards to some great Twin Cities restaurants. Kendall recently spoke to the two fabulous women behind it.
I'm here with two of my friends today who I'm not talking to just because they're my friends, but because they actually have a pretty cool concept going on that I think all of you guys should know about. First, Angie Vesters and Boone, everybody. Hi.
Hi.
We're Daphne and No Dog. Hi, Megan.
Hello.
Okay, so you guys started this concept I think is really neat. It's called Bizingo. Am I saying that right?
Yes, Isolation Bizingo.
Isolation Bizingo. You can, if you're watching this at home, which you are, you can figure out a little bit about what that means. You guys are really big bingo people. Like very big bingo people. Angie, I see you brought your little clicker thingies. What do you call those?
These are daubers. This is just part of my collection. I have been deep in the bingo game for, I'd say, over a decade now around the country and specifically in Minnesota. Some of my favorite spots, shout out to the Chesterbird, Mystic Lake Casino, of course, really any Legion that has bingo. I am there. That is what I do in my personal time. Megan plays with me all the time. Her husband, my fiance, Pat. It is one of our favorite pastimes. So Megan had a stroke of genius when she came up with this idea for Isolation Bizingo to still get people together to do a social activity, but distanced at the same time.
Right. So, okay. Now, as someone who likes bingo, like your average human, I don't have the clickers, I don't have the dots, I don't have any of the things, but I can go somewhere and play along. Tell me how this works. Like I have to go to a specific restaurant, right?
Sure. So this week we are going to have around 50 participating locations. The idea is you can order delivery, curbside pickup, or takeout from any of these spots, and they will have our free Bizingo cards there. So you grab your cards while you're grabbing your food or your beer. We have a lot of breweries involved in this as well. And then you join me back here in the Isolation Bizingo studio.
Boy, this is
my basement where I call, oh no, you can't see it. Maybe I can do this. This might be a bad move. But here is the Bizingo ball. Oh, we got a ball that's loose. But this is where we have all the magic happen with Isolation Bizingo.
Oh, I'm really sad that Boone walked away because he's kind of the star of Bizingo, by the way.
Real star.
Right? Yeah. So if you have a little bit of like you need a dog fix, Boone is here to help you.
Yes.
Okay, so Megan, when you came up with this idea and you were like, hey, what's a way that we can get the community involved? Let's play bingo. I love bingo. I know a lot of people in this community. Were restaurants on board right away?
Yeah, it happened fast and furious. Really everything we've done to make this happen has been a whirlwind of Angie and I's nights and weekends. Because when we came up with the idea on a Monday, it was, I think, a week in there, maybe like 2 weeks into the real big part of our shutdown. So we knew, and I personally knew that, we were struggling to, like it's not that we're making money, we have to lay off staff. As a restaurant owner, we needed to find something to activate people tomorrow. So Angie and I just kind of were like, let's go for it. Let's start on Monday. We'll get restaurants on board. We'll do it Saturday. There was not a whole lot of thought or preparation beyond that. We just, kind of went as we could, scrambling along. We ran into quite a few hurdles the first week, but by 7:30 on Saturday, Angie was live on Facebook, and quickly we were up to 900 some people playing bingo with us. It was incredible.
That's so cool. Okay, we've got about 30 seconds left. If people want to join Zingo, is this every Saturday? Do they just go on the Facebook group? How does this work?
Yes, we are hoping to do this every Saturday night. The best place to go is to our Facebook page, Isolation Bazingo. We post updates there almost daily.
Okay, and they just get their takeout, get your Bazingo card, and go. And Megan, if anyone who's watching this, maybe in Red Wing, Rochester, Duluth, and they're interested, is there any way that they can join? Any plans for the future?
Yep. Absolutely. Each week we're trying to, as best we can, add in as many locations that are willing and want to kind of join the game, because the more that play, the better. I mean, we started this as a way to help out restaurants and breweries, but we have a lot of, small boutiques and shops and other places that, need some attention and need a little bit of love. And also, this is a really fun thing for people to do at home on Saturday nights. We knew that Angie and I liked playing Bazingo and, playing this game, but we're realizing that everybody needs something right now to come together. And that's why we go to bars and restaurants in the first place, is we want to hang out with people. We're starved of that right now. And this is giving us a way to connect in real time with, people in our community, our friends, and even strangers, which is really fun.
I know, I miss strangers. Whoever thought we'd say that. Well,
I know. Isn't that you take for granted, like interacting with people that are outside of your, your really immediate social circle.
Right. Well, ladies, Megan, Angie, and Boone. Sorry, not all ladies here. Here's Boone. Thank you guys for joining us on the Jason Show. I will be playing Bazingo. I'm very excited. Isolation has not been key for me. So to have a little fun with the community will be great. You guys, of course, go to the Facebook page if you want to check it out. The Jason Show. We'll be right back.
And welcome back, everyone. Hope you're having a really good morning. Well, I always have a good morning when she stops by. Usually, she visits us in our studio. But today, you know what? We are making lemon pound cake out of lemons. And if there's one person that can do that better than most, it is my dear friend. And talk about making me feel good. It's my dear friend and yours, the cooking mom, Amy Hatton. Hi, Amy.
Hey, Jace, I miss you so much, and I can hardly wait till the day where we're back in your studio cooking together. And I'm not doing lemon today. I'm actually doing a banana and a beer bread, but you are so right. We're making lemonade out of lemons, doing the best we can.
I got to ask you before, every time we have a dear friend of ours on the show, you being one of them, I always like to start with just, a human question. How are you doing? How have you been doing? How's the family? All of that.
So I gotta say, we are really healthy and so blessed. So we're doing really well in my house. But it's weird, just like everybody else. So I woke up on March 17th, St. Patty's Day, and like you, I do a cooking show in Green Bay. I also, travel around to your show and do my recipes on other TV stations. But my show, like yours, is like, nope. We are on hold. We're safer at home. So I woke up that morning and I was like, what the heck am I going to do today? And I'm one of those people who can barely relax on vacation. So I was like, I was going stir crazy. And I bought, like the week before, corned beef and a cabbage and all that. So I thought, all right, I got this stuff. I'm going to cook live my St. Patty's Day dinner on Facebook. So I did, and I really never had done many Facebook Lives. So I've been cooking live on Facebook every single day at 3:30, and it's kind of given me a purpose, a mission. It's forced me to take a shower, put some lipstick on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hope it's kind of like I feel like it's my purpose and my mission is to try and help, make your life in the kitchen a little bit easier. And I'm cooking things that people have in their pantry on a budget, simple stuff.
Well, so what are we going to start with today?
Okay, so today everybody's baking, right? Like that's like a whole thing. People who have never even baked before are thinking, I'm gonna bake. And our good friend, mutual friend Elizabeth Reese from Twin Cities Live is like making sourdough bread. My daughter, who's at University of Minnesota, she's still there in Minneapolis, working there and doing online. She's making focaccia. Okay, that's way over my head, both those things. So I'm gonna show you how to make two easy breezy breads anybody can make, even if you're not a baker. Like I'm not a baker, I'm keeping it real. So an easy banana bread that you do in your blender and a beer bread. So I'm gonna just jump ahead and get to it.
Go to.
So, for the banana bread, my recipe is a little bit different than most. So everybody's got a banana bread recipe. So give mine a try because it's crazy easy and it's actually really fun. It's actually a blender banana bread. And the nastier your bananas, like you really want to use the brown. I want to show you how ugly my bananas are. This is what you're looking for, like when they're really.
Those are some ugly bananas.
Ugly bananas. So you're going to use 3 of them. And if your bananas are starting to get kind of brown like that and you just don't have the time or energy to make this recipe, just put them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag and then you can make banana bread down the road. Just unthaw them a little bit and they're perfect for this recipe. So don't be throwing out the bananas. I feel like I don't want to waste anything these days. I want to save every little bit of everything. You get my drift. So in go my bananas to the blender here. And then to that, I'm going to add 2 eggs. So you've got everything to make this recipe, and that's why I love it. 1 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of oil, and vanilla. And the blender is just a fun way to get it all mixed together. And it's just, again, it makes this recipe really special. So bear with me. It's going to get a little bit loud.
It's going to get loud here. You blend. Look at. She's blending, everyone.
So that's all mixed up.
That's it. I was going to say, instrumental break, everybody, for the blender.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the dry ingredients. Okay, Jace, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, so the dry ingredients, super, super simple. 2 cups of flour. And again, this banana bread costs like pennies to make. And we're not, just cooking dinner these days. We're cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's nice to have something. This is great with coffee in the morning, great to snack on. Make 2 loaves, and they freeze really well, too. So then I've got baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, and salt. Put a little cinnamon in there, and that makes it really yummy. And if you didn't write down everything, don't worry about it. The recipe, you can find this recipe and a lot of my recipes on my website, thecookingmom.com. And there's a little search and just put blender banana bread in there and you're going to find it. So then we're going to take our wet ingredients, the bananas and the oil and the vanilla and the eggs.
And people can also, I'm going to use this opportunity as you're mixing that. Y'all can get Amy's book too, The Cooking Mom. Right there's a picture of it. Get that book, Cooks Up Memories. I got to tell you, it makes a really good gift, so.
Thanks, Jace. Yeah, it's just on Amazon, and I'm cooking every single day, live, even on the weekends. I'm crazy, I know it, but I just feel like it gives me something to do. Every day, live at 3:30 on Facebook, and you can just go to Facebook, and you can search The Cooking Mom. I'm on Instagram, too, so.
That's right.
Trying to come up with more easy, breezy recipes to help us in the kitchen. It's crazy hard. We've never cooked more before. Have you?
I know. Cooking, I have cooked more, which is great. I've been grilling a lot. And also, Amy, and I know you feel the same way in your town, I have been doing everything I can to support the local restaurants around here. So we do a Takeout Tuesday just to help these folks out.
Absolutely. In fact, the Cooking Mom needs to hang up her apron every once in a while. And we have been definitely picking up pizza and delivery and sushi. So I hear you. I am like, okay, sometimes I am cooked out. So I'm just I put some milk in here. And again, the full recipe for the blender banana bread on the website. And then it goes into a greased loaf pan, and at home you'll get every little bit of this batter out of there. But I want to show you what it looks like when it's all done. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and it is the most beautiful, if I do say so myself. Turns out perfect every time.
Look at that.
It takes for about 45 minutes. Can you see it, Jace?
I can. Look at how beautiful that is.
I know. And I'm not a baker, so, anybody can make this, and warm out of the oven makes the house smell so good. A little bit of butter on there, and oh yeah, yummo. I wish I could give you a piece.
I know, virtually. I'll take a virtual piece. Okay, Amy, what do we have next?
This is a beer bread recipe, even easier than that banana bread.
Well, that was pretty easy, so this is going to be real easy then.
True.
So tell us about it.
So, Jace, I've got another recipe for you that is crazy easy. It's my famous beer bread, and literally it's 4 ingredients. Anybody can make it, and it goes great with soups, stews, whatever, makes the house smell amazing. So I'm just going to jump right in. Cool?
Please, go ahead.
Okay, so hopefully you can find self-rising flour at the grocery store. It's right near the regular flour. It's not expensive. If you can't, no big deal. You can still make this beer bread if you've got regular flour on hand, and I'm going to show you the adjustment for that. So I've got 3 cups of either self-rising, that would be key, but if not, just all-purpose flour. And you know what? My grocery store didn't have the self-rising. So to make it self-rising, I'm adding, real easy, baking powder and salt. So that's how you make your own self-rising flour. I've got 4.5 teaspoons. 3 cups of flour, 4.5 teaspoons baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm adding a 1/4 cup of sugar, okay? So now we're going to add 1 beer, whatever you got. And Jason, I'm pretty sure people have beer around the house these days. Just saying.
Can they, especially my mother-in-law, can it be Bud Light beer? Is that all right? Beer bread?
Absolutely. Actually, kind of a lighter beer like that works best. You don't want a real super flavorful heavy beer. And this is fun also for the kids to make because it kind of foams up. I don't know if you can see this, but it foams all up, and it's just kind of like a science experiment once you got that beer in there. So then you basically preheat the oven to 375. It's a real lumpy batter. Don't be alarmed because that's what it's supposed to look like. It's not, any.
Oh, it does. That is lumpy.
It's very rustic. And then we're going to drizzle about a 1/2 stick of butter. Oh, yeah, you know me. I love my butter.
I know you do.
Over the top, and then it bakes at 375 for about 35, 40 minutes. But this is a thing of beauty, and your house smells amazing. And again, if you've been wanting to try it and make bread, you don't need yeast. You don't need anything fancy to make either the banana bread or this beer bread recipe. So there you go. Get an apron on, Jason. Bake some up.
Oh, believe me, I'm going to. As soon as we're done, I'm baking something. Ladies and gentlemen, The Cooking Mom, again, you can get Amy's book, The Cooking Mom Cooks Up Memories, on Amazon. Thank you, sweetie, so much.
You take care. Hi to Colin, and hope to see you again soon. Be safe, everybody.
We're going to take a break. Again, follow The Cooking Mom on social media. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Are y'all watching, before we wrap up, I mentioned at the top of the show, shows I'm watching. I think Sarah asked me the question. 2 more things that I'm watching, or 1 more, Killing Eve, Season 3. I got to tell you, I love this show, but last week's episode, I don't really love that much. But look, this show is still, it's like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good. Another show that folks are talking about, and I want to hear from you, Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu. Are you watching it? This is the one with Reese Witherspoon. And the finale that was available for streaming last week, like on Thursday or Friday, has a lot of people talking, like Vulture.com said, let's talk about that Little Fires Everywhere ending. Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon. So let me know, are you watching it, and should we be watching it? And maybe I'll include it in a future best thing ever. I want to say thanks again to the Cooking Mom, Amy Hanton. She's the best in the best of circumstances and the worst. She is a trooper. And you have no idea the technical difficulties we had trying to shoot that segment. It took us 45 minutes, so I appreciate her time. Her book, The Cooking Mom, Cooks Up Memories, is available on Amazon. It's great. And we need it right now. We need all the recipes that we can get. Again, I want to say thank you so much. Each and every one of these new shows, I always want to close with kind of some gratitude. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to the grocery store workers, the nurses, the therapists, the doctors on the front lines, the business owners just trying to make it work. Thanks to all of you at Target and grocery stores. I love